We will be starting in just a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand by. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to yet another session with Geopasy. To begin with, Geopasy started as a community program for mainly the Parsis under the Ministry of Minority Affairs. Geopasy has become a universal program now for creating a work life balance. Like the Parsis, the world today faces issues of globalization. We all need our voices to be heard in the seemingly uncaring silence. We need advice on relationships, loneliness, health, and well being, and above all, psychological, practical, and moral support. The online platform that we are offering covers everything from culture to children. As we plan, we look forward to your participation and suggestions. We are all together in this new world. Let us become a global family with trained professionals and experienced individuals online with us to help create an online family together. Today's topic is where we discuss that women make it seem easy to balance work of high caliber with family and raising children. But the truth is, it's never easy. A lot of adjustments and compromises are necessary. And women who do wonders are women who adapt, take help, and don't believe that they can carry the world on their shoulders. Let's listen to Lara Balsara Wajifdar as she shares her journey. It's worth listening to a person who has been there, done that, managed her about the road she has taken as she shares her experience. Lara is currently the executive director of Madison World and features in Impact's top 50 most influential women in media and economic times. Brand equity ad agency recognized top 50 most influential people in advertising list in 2018-2019. As a mother of two young children, Lara is able to effectively manage her two roles at Madison and a mother and champions the cause of women at workplace by leading through example. Over to you, Lara.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, first of all, Geo Parsi, for inviting me to come and share my two bits on work life balance. Good evening, everyone. I hope the lockdown isn't treating you all too badly, and more importantly, you have been putting the lockdown to good use. So, work-life balance is a highly discussed and debated topic. With technology today at our fingertips, we are all available almost 24/7 to our work. And with this whole lockdown and working from home has made this whole work-life balance even more difficult to achieve. Typically, work-life balance issues are faced by both men and women. But I guess, given that this is the GeoParsi platform, we will discuss work-life balance in the context of having a career and being a hands-on mother. So, for me, it was never really a question of choosing one over the other. Whether I never thought that should I focus on my career or should I have kids. That thought never occurred to me when I decided to start a family. The only thing I knew was that I wanted both and I had to excel at both. And I also didn't put too much thought into how I was going to manage both. I just went with the flow and did what I had to do. So the advertising industry that I work in is quite fast paced with long hectic hours with many a times come unannounced, because a crisis can hit anytime. You don't know what your work day is going to look like. So work life balance in our industry gets discussed quite often. And whenever I have been asked this question in the past, my answer would always be, you can't compartmentalize these two aspects of your life. Both are very important and both have to coexist. I feel just you prioritize at a particular point in time what and who needs you more, and you just go ahead and do it. I, for one, personally, am always connected to my work. So whether I'm on a holiday or in the hospital or even on my honeymoon for that matter, my laptop is always with me. Work-life balance has everything to do with your mindset. So if you've made up your mind that you have to achieve something, whether it's something in your personal life or something professionally, then you will do all it takes to go out and achieve that goal, or at least have a plan in your mind. How are you going to get there? We can all always come up with 100 excuses as to why something can't be done, and typically lack of time is the number one excuse. I'll share with you some facts now. So, Harvard has been doing this study over the last many years on the effects of working mothers and on the effects that they have on their children when they grow up. So, the study, as I said, has been done over the years, but in the last study done in 2019 across 50,000 adults, the results showed that children of working mothers are not only high achievers at work, but also turn out to be happy too, just as happy as the adults of the non working mothers. Further, the study also said that women raised by a working mother are more likely to hold jobs, be a manager, and earn a 23% better salary than women with at home moms. As for the men, they are just as likely to have supervisory jobs, whether their mothers worked or not. But those with a working mom spent more time doing childcare and home chores. So, working mothers out there, there is absolutely no reason to feel guilty. In fact, remember, you are contributing a big way in raising more successful, well rounded, and gender neutral kids. So, how does a career oriented working mother hold it all together? I came across this sometime back on the internet. Randy Zuckerberg, who's the Facebook founder, Mark Zuckerberg's sister, has come up with a secret formula for working women to lead a balanced life. So she's written a book, Pick Three. You can have it all, but just not every day. So, what she says in her book is every day when she wakes up, she picks three of the five things she is going to do and focus on in that day. So the five things that she chooses from are work, sleep, family, friends, and fitness. So she says choose only three out of the five things on any particular day to live a happy life. Well, you could choose all five, but then you could do that for a day or two, or if you do it continuously, you'll burn out very soon. I think this quite resonates with me, and I think this is what I've been following, and is my secret formula for managing my work and my personal life. On any typical day, on most days, my top three priorities would be my work, my kids, and fitness. I must say, my friends have taken a little bit of a backseat right now. I guess we are all in a similar stage in our lives right now where we are all learning to manage our work with young children with us. So I also think actually 24 hours in a day is quite a lot of time. If we sleep for about 8 hours, we still have 16 hours to accomplish all that we have to do. You know, today with social media, we tend to waste a lot of our precious time, seeing well made, slick videos or just aimlessly flicking through, beautiful photographs. I know I do that a lot. So if you actually put on the screen time feature on your phones, it's a feature which shows you how much time you actually spend on your phone and doing what. You will be shocked to see the number of hours you actually spend on your phone not doing productive work. So I think this feature has really helped me to cut down on my social media browsing. Secondly, I think today with technology, you can access your work anytime, anywhere, and you don't actually have to be only in your office to do work. So when things were normal, I used my transit time in the car to either read the paper in the morning or start doing my work or start thinking about at least, what I had to do when I reached office. So for me, having a to-do list for the day does help to get my focus and helps me accomplish everything that I have to do. And believe me, the joy of just striking off something from your list is in a high in itself. Let me tell you my typical routine, what I do in a day. So first, when I was pregnant, I worked till the very last day in office. In fact, I went home after a full day of work and then went to the hospital that same evening, and my child was born the next day at night. The initial few weeks of pregnancy were tough with the morning sickness, during which time I was quite sick and I just couldn't go to work. But otherwise, I've worked right through both my pregnancies. And after I delivered, I started going back to office within 3 months for both my children. Although I must say, by the time I had my second child, the maternity leave had increased to 6 months. But I felt I could manage. I set a routine for both my kids, and once that routine was set, I was able to get back to work. I did do a little bit of work from home in the 3 months that I was at home with the kids. I think it's very important to get back to work after having a child. One is, you get the much needed break from your child. Babies, as adorable as they are also a lot of hard work. So work gives you that break, and the baby also gets used to, you going out every day in the morning and coming back in the evening, and gets used to other people in the house handling the baby. As I said, having a routine, whatever routine it may be, helps the child and helps the mother as well. So our typical day before the lockdown would be I would wake up at 7:30 in the morning. I actually used to get a trainer who would come to my house that would help me get off my bed, and I would work out. Otherwise, if I didn't have the trainer, I would just not be able to get off my bed. And then the kids would wake up. If they woke up a little earlier, they would come and play as I was working out. Then they would go for have their breakfast, and all three of us would leave home by about 9 o'clock, where I would drop them to school. And on the way in the car, I would have my breakfast, and then I would go to my work. So my mother would pick them up from school, they actually had a full day or almost a full day of school. Their school started at about 9:30 and finished at 3:30. And I would get home from work in the evenings at around roughly 6 o'clock or so. So my evenings, from the time I came home up to the time the children slept, were like their time. And many a days, I would fall asleep myself trying to make them sleep, and sometimes, a day even before they would go to sleep. Of course, there were always exceptions, and if I was stuck up at work because of some unavoidable meeting or a late meeting or even an evening function for that matter, I would just attend those. So I must say that I do have the luxury of living just opposite my parents, and I have a nanny for my children. So that does help in a very big way. And if I was ever stuck at work, I didn't have to be worried that my kids were home alone and I had to rush back because no family member was with them. I also must say, having good health is very important if you're a working mother. And once you find good health, it's important that you and your family respect them and treat them well. And, sometimes just maybe let go of the small things. So coming to the lockdown, yes, the lockdown was quite hard initially to manage both work and kids from home. And I think I must say with this lockdown, I have a newfound respect for stay-at-home moms. I think it's way tougher to be at home and look after a child and you're home 24/7 than it is to go out and work. So the first week of the lockdown was quite exhausting for me, both physically and mentally. But I think we've all found our balance and our new routine. So I typically have my work calls in the day, and during which time my husband entertains the kids. The one thing I must say that has kept me sane throughout this lockdown is, like, every day, almost every day, I try to go out and walk for 1 hour every morning. So that gives me the me time and helps me be away from home yet close by and think about what I have to do. So the other good thing, at least for me, that I have managed to do in this lockdown is I've changed my kids' schedule. So now they wake up at 7 in the morning. They don't sleep in the afternoon, and they sleep by 7:30 at night. So the three of us eat dinner together by 6 o'clock. So that also helps me do intermittent fasting. And it also helps because I get a good 3-4 hours every evening to catch up on all my pending work emails, probably do a workout, spend time with my husband, just watch Netflix or something. So it's a good 3-4 hours are a good amount of time that I get now every evening. So one tip is, I would say, to get your children to sleep early. You automatically have so much time on your hands. I also have been doing a fair amount of cooking and baking in this lockdown. I find it quite therapeutic, and it's a good way to do something with the children and engage them. So I must say the other thing I feel works for me is that I had both my kids in quick succession, with barely a 17-month gap. So whilst the first year was very tough handling two very small children, it's absolutely great now. They are inseparable and they are like two peas in a pod. They play together, fight together, laugh together, everything. They're always together and they give each other great company. So let me also tell you that and not give you the impression that it's all easy. Yes, there are very tough days and tough nights, especially when the children are young. They tend to wake up at night, or if they are not well and they're not sleeping properly, or if you're not well and you have to look after them, things can get tough, especially then when you have work the next day. So I really feel, there is no one right way to do this. Everyone has to find their own way that works for their family and their lifestyles. And, I also don't think I'm doing anything exceptional. Everyone around me is doing it. I see my colleagues at work, my colony mommy friends, all of them are doing a great job. I get emails at 11:30, 12 at night from other work colleagues who are mothers We've done calls at 10:30 at night, and sometimes even on a Sunday. So I think just do whatever it takes and whatever works for you and your schedule and routine. I do think one important thing is that, if you're as a working mother, you need to, when you spend time with your child, you need to make sure that you don't have any distractions and, try to keep your phone away and give your children the undivided attention that, they need. I also think in today's environment, it's very important for a mother to work and continue working. I do believe it's unfortunate and a little crazy to think that you can't have children because of your career. Even I think going back to work while after you have a child, while some may do it for financial reasons and having a double income household, I believe everyone should do it for also for their own personal growth and being. I do believe that my children are the best thing that have happened to me in my life, and I have grown so much as a person after becoming a mother. I was discussing with a work colleague one day over lunch, and she was also a new mother, and we both were discussing how becoming a mother, gives you this newfound confidence that you can really take on the world. And I also do strongly believe that I am a better mother because I work, and I am better at my job because I am a mother. So let me tell you, better mother because I work, because I'm a lot more organized with all my children's stuff. I plan everything well in advance, and I believe better at my work because I know that I don't have now 24 hours to do a particular task, and I plan better, and I also do delegate. Yes, let me tell you once again, it is difficult, but with the right support system, everything can be managed. I think the most important thing is don't be afraid to ask for help, either from within your family or if it requires hiring help. You have to delegate different tasks in your home. Managing the home cannot just be the woman's responsibility. And get the kids involved too in household chores. As women, we feel no one can do it better than us, especially when it comes to our children and our home. But believe me, you can't, one person can't do it all, and if you want to succeed, you have to get other people involved and share your load. I think fathers and husbands play a great role in nurturing and taking care of children. Absolutely gone are the days where taking care of the children or the home was just the mother's responsibility. I'm quite fortunate to have a very hands-on husband when it comes to taking care of kids or managing the house. I even know of some husbands during this lockdown who are doing a fair amount of cooking as well. So to sum up, I believe women can have it all. Well, almost. And why shouldn't we? Just remember two key words that I want to leave you with is one is prioritization, the other is delegation. And the glass ceiling exists only in your mind. So that's all that I have to share. I'm happy to answer any questions, if any.
Great, great, Lara. That was really good. Being a mother also shows what you're capable of,
Yeah,
brings about facets of your personality which you never thought existed or you never
absolutely.
thought you had in you. So this is really good. And yeah, the balance that you have to maintain to have a kid, you, like you said, you have to prioritize. See what is good for you, see how you can make the most of the given situation and work at it. That is
Absolutely.
what. So what works for you may not work for me, but
Correct.
what works for me may not work for you either. So, it is each one to their own, but at the same time, it is not possible. It is something which all of us can do. So one child, two child, three children doesn't really make any difference. Like they say, you bring up the first child and the second child just grows.
Just goes up. Yes,
So,
yes.
you
I do
know,
that. Yeah.
tell me one thing. You said you prioritize and you give a certain amount of time. You allocate rather a certain amount of time, right? How do you keep your children busy in the afternoon, or how do you keep the children busy if you don't let them sleep?
My husband is at home. He's a pilot, so when he's not on flight, he is at home, and so they do reading. He reads to them. We just engage them with all our regular household stuff. So whatever we are doing, we just get them involved. So whether I'm cooking, then I take them along with me, and they stir, or sometimes they try to cut, or if my husband is washing his bikes or his cars, they help him with that, or they ask for stories. Like I said, I live with my parents, so my parents are there, my sister is there, we live in a joint family. So there are different people in the house who keep them occupied and entertained. And like I also said, there are two of them, so they give each other great
In the
company,
company.
and
Right.
so it works out. And
Right.
sometimes they could also be just, as I'm doing my work call, they could be sitting right next to me quietly doing some coloring or writing, or something.
Yeah. I mean, Lara, you are lucky to have a fantastic support system.
Yes, yes, that I must agree that I am
Many of us
in that
do
sense.
not have that
And
kind
so,
of
and true, quite difficult.
yeah, it becomes very difficult because
Yes.
when you are dealing with this and suddenly you have a you have a work call, and you have to you don't have the option but to take it up at that point of time, and you have a bawling child at one end. it,
Yeah, yeah.
that's when you go crazy.
Yeah,
So
I
what
mean, it happens. Let me tell you, it happens to me as well. So, I mean, all that you have to do is put your phone on mute for those few seconds, or move to another room. So it's not like it doesn't happen to me. It does happen to me, but you just deal with it.
I agree, you have to deal with it. That is true, but sometimes it just goes way over your head. And like you said, it is very important for the person at such a time to have a me time,
Yeah,
where
absolutely. It's very, very important.
because that's where you regroup your
Yeah,
energy,
yeah,
you get
yes.
yourself sorted out to be able to handle what is coming next.
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely. You
that
need your
yeah,
like they say,
okay.
if the mother's not happy, no one is happy.
Yeah, right. Even the food doesn't taste good
Yeah.
because you don't know what you put into it, right?
Correct,
So
correct.
that's what happens. I have one question for you.
Yeah.
What happens when it comes to a marriage between two people in the same field?
Okay.
Chances of having regular clashes are there because you tend to take work home, or
Yeah.
you take your home to the office.
Hmm.
Okay. So, what is the best way to navigate through these clashes and maintain a harmonious relationship at home without sabotaging your goals and possible achievements?
So again, I would say you do what works for you. You could have boundaries. I know some of my friends who work with their spouses, so they decide that okay, when they are at home, they are not going to discuss work, because they work in the same field, in not just in different, just the same field, but they work in the same company as well. So you keep boundaries, you set boundaries of what you as a couple should do, what is your end objective. And if you think that discussing a particular topic, you are going on fighting, then just don't discuss that topic you know
But it should be with mutual understanding.
Obviously, yes. Mutual understanding. I think the key word is mutual understanding and respect. I think we all have to realize that whilst we may not fully agree to what the other person is saying, we have to respect their understanding and their take on a particular matter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is true. Also, what happens is that such times, there are times when you do not have a support system.
Yes.
Would you then say, I mean, okay, it is not right or wrong, it's not our business to say right or wrong, but I want to then leave my job and look after my kids. How would you look at that?
Sure, I think children are the most, at a particular point in time when your child is like less than 1 year old, that should be like the most important thing in your life. You have your whole career spanning what, 30, 35, 40 years Two, 3 years in your career is not going to make much of a difference. So I believe do what it takes and do what you are comfortable with. There is no hard and fast rule that okay, if you had a child then you have to get back to work. I'm just saying, giving you my side of the story of what I did and what worked for me.
Right.
Let me also tell you, like, if you are not comfortable that your child is not being well looked after, you won't be able to do your 100% at your work.
Right. Right. No, because what happens is in today's throat cutting, cutthroat kind of a situation where people are busy stepping on each other's toes to reach to a particular level.
Mm.
If I leave that particular slot, I may have to start from the bottom of the ladder.
No.
I may not be able to go up from where I left.
Well, that could happen in some industries, but let me also tell you that as companies and organizations, we are always looking for good, mature, good talent. So if we have the right person, believe me, the company is going to hold on to that person and do whatever it takes to make sure that that person doesn't leave. That's the situation we are in today. Of course, you have to be 100% committed to your job. Like I said, there are some colleagues of mine who send me, I mean, because they also have young children, they are sending me emails, completing their work and sending me emails at 12 o'clock at night. So that to me shows 100% commitment to their job. And as like I said, companies need good talent who is dedicated and committed, so they are willing to make exceptions, you know.
That's very nice to hear, because there was a time when we were starting out on our careers, and if there was a little bit of a gap in your resume and we were asked, okay, what did you do at this time, why is there a gap, it's very difficult to explain why the gap is there, and make them feel that yes, I can now dedicate myself to this job, show my true dedication and say that I'll be good at doing this. So till you give me an opportunity, I will not be able to prove myself.
Oh,
That
got
is
it.
how it works. But today's world, I think, is much,
Yeah,
much more
I think
open.
things are a lot more different today than they were
Yes,
10,
yes,
15
yes,
years ago.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. To move on, there is this very, very common thing that is happening with everyone, and I even notice it in restaurants. To keep a child busy, you give them an iPad. You
Mhm.
give them, you put on their famous Cartoon Network
Yeah.
or Toon Kids or whatever, whatever, whatever. Now, the thing is, the child gets very addicted to it. So, the moment the child creates a ruckus and throws up a tantrum, the parents say, Acha Baba, go and see this show. Come on, come on, come on. I'll put it on for you. Nowadays, you don't even have to put it on because the kid absolutely
No
knows
doubt.
which
Yes. Yeah.
button to press to get what.
Yeah.
So, what is your take on these
So
kind of
we have,
things?
or rather, we had a no screen policy in my house. We were fortunate that the school that we put our children in, they also had a very very strict no screen policy, because there are lots of research that shows that watching screens causes long term damage to the child's
Child.
brain.
Hmm.
So we were very clear. My kids are now 4 and 3. So now we let them play with the phone, and they call, do FaceTime with our the grandparents and relatives. But otherwise, we don't show them any screens or videos or cartoons or that sort of a thing. In fact, one day I was at a wedding, and I was feeding both my children one after the next, and one mother actually came up to me and said, wow, I'm amazed that you are feeding your children without watching, both your children without them having a screen in
Exactly.
front of
Exactly.
them. Yeah, if once you give the screen, then there's absolutely no going back, so we've just kept away from it.
Yeah. Because I remember when we were young mothers, we used to read to them. We used to
Yes.
read to our
Yeah.
children. We would take a book and we would read to the children, and they would be engrossed, ultimately, even reciting the entire story by heart. So
Correct.
that was a different scenario. And today's scenario, because when you go to a restaurant and the child is busy, and I'm talking about children who are on a high stool, who are not able to walk properly, but know
Yeah,
how to start
yeah,
the iPad and how to go on to their favorite window.
yeah.
So it is a little disconcerting and a little worrisome, but people are doing it en masse. It's
Yeah, I guess each one does what works for them. I think one thing that I've learned in motherhood is never to judge.
no, no, no. Nobody's judging. It is just that we. It's a concern, cause for concern. But
Yes,
like
yeah,
you said, it is not good for the child's
brain, yeah,
brain. So these are the kind of things that we need to. The doctors, in fact, very categorically tell now, don't do that.
yeah,
But then, if
yes,
I want my sanity in a household, then I might as well do it.
yeah.
I'll say,
That's
okay,
true.
go watch
You
TV
have to find your balance.
somewhere. Yes, that is true. Um, we also feel that okay, you have taken a sabbatical, you have come back to work.
Mm.
I am not very happy with the position I am in now, and it has got nothing to do with looking after my children, but my
Mm.
corporate world. How do you deal with that, where I say, okay, I was doing so well, and now with my children, have they come? Does it bring a little bit of bitterness, or does it affect my looking after my children? Will it affect?
Uh, I would think, yeah, okay. If after a gap, if you come back to work and you are at a different or a lower position, fine, take that position. You have all the time to prove yourself. And I do genuinely believe that companies today are really eager to look for good talent and want good talent to stay. So even if you join back on a lower position or a lower grade, I mean, let your work do the talking, and you will, within no time, you will come up to speed.
Yes, you said that within no time, but that is the criteria. I mean, I want it as of yesterday.
Yeah,
I,
but then, I mean, you have to decide what is important to you. Uh, that would be my perspective, at least.
okay. This is a little away from your topic of today. Uh,
Okay.
but being a woman and being a mother, what would you do? You have anything to say for any kind of sorry, let me just phrase it properly. Is that would you have anything to say to help women who are suffering from domestic violence? Would you have anything to say?
I would say, especially if it's a mother, I would say speak up, take help, find. Don't just keep quiet because it's not good for you. It's more importantly, it's not good for your children to see that the mother is being, physically or mentally abused for that matter. I would say speak up, and you don't, nothing stops, prevents you from, you absolutely, I mean, I find it absolutely unacceptable. So I would have
I
zero tolerance to something like this.
So, okay, so do you think we could help by giving them certain numbers where they can contact people and
Not
take
sure
timely help?
if
That is what we can
geography
do.
can
Geopathy?
help, or put them in touch with the right platform.
Exactly,
I,
exactly.
I do know right now, because of the lockdown, there are many such cases happening, and there are some campaigns going on to speak out about these things.
Yes. So I would request the viewers, if there is any issue of this kind happening around you, then please feel free to contact us and we'll put you in touch with the right people. Geopathy is there to help you. Please, you're welcome to write to us. We will be giving you our email ID, so please feel free to write whatever. Okay. Also, what I feel is, to maintain a work life balance, it is like, can I put my children on hold? Can I say, okay, I'll devote like 10 years of my life to work, then I'll start having children. Is that a good thing to do or not a good thing? Let's not be judgmental, like you said. Do you think it will be nice or it will be right?
See, I think you can never really plan, plan that far ahead. There is never a right or a wrong time. You know, getting pregnant is quite a magical thing and it happens when it happens. I would say just don't wait too long because then it may never happen. I know, I mean, that's a wrong thing to say today because with advancement in, medical
Yes,
facilities and all that anything can happen, but I don't think, I mean, I don't think you can plan your whole life that way, that step one is this, step two is this, after I achieve this or I become this level then I will have a child. I think it doesn't work. You have to make it work at that point in time of your life.
okay. uh, Also, what happens is, yes, you are right, we have to work at, you have to go as the life takes you.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
cannot put a stop to something and say, okay, this is not what I'm going to do now. You
Yeah.
just flow with the tide. It is, I mean, I suppose it's easier said than done, but
Yeah, it is. Yes, yes, it is easier said than done. But I think also, if when even if let's say if I had to take a back seat and start thinking about, how will am I going to manage or that way, even for today, like if I think of all the things that I have to do, when you think about it, it sounds a lot more daunting. Then when you actually do it, it's not as difficult as you may think it to be.
that's true. And like you said, it is not something which you would not like to compartmentalize.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
suppose it is your time to do your job, but your children need your time, please feel free to put down your phone and be with the kids,
Yes, absolutely.
you know, so that they also feel that they are not being neglected.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
cannot tell
correct.
them, oh baby, 5 to 7 is your time, you cannot be with
Correct,
me before
correct,
that.
correct. Yeah, yeah.
So that is how it works.
And also,
Anything else?
let me add, like, children, I feel children grow up really fast. My children
True.
are 4 and 3, and I feel they are way too grown up, so time really
Right.
flies.
Yeah, that's also because you made them so much independent that they are so busy doing stuff on their own that
Yes,
they
yes.
don't really need mama to help
Yes,
them.
that's true.
Okay, now there is one very, very interesting question, which is the need and what is happening as of today is online classes.
Yeah.
And people are going gungo over online classes. I mean, I see so many children, just looking into the screen, whether they have assimilated what is being taught, no idea, but definitely looking into the screen and trying to pay attention to what is happening. What is your take on online classes?
So I haven't really firmed up my mind because my children are not going through any online classes right now. Lucky for us, they were in a school which was against screens. So we did get some
Exactly.
worksheets on WhatsApp, which we took printouts of and tried to make them do.
Hmm.
But I think for very young children, it doesn't make sense. And I feel 3 4 months in a child's 15-year school span is not going to make a big difference. What I've been reading is what is more important is how the child feels at home, how the child is treated, what love the child receives. All there are so many things more important than ABCD and 1 2 3 4 5. Like human values,
Right.
being kind, being developing their
I mean,
vocabulary.
build up their
All those
empathetic
things,
quotient.
absolutely, yeah,
Right,
yeah. So I think
right.
those things you can focus on those things.
Yeah, but what happens is, considering the kind of society we come from, where
Yes,
education is like topmost,
yes,
you can't be
yes.
missing school, right? You
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
slight cold, it doesn't matter. Take a handkerchief, put some Vicks on your handkerchief, and go to school. That's how it is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So sitting at home is a sheer waste of time and a burden to me, you know, more
Correct, correct,
importantly, which
correct,
is
correct. Yes,
unsaid.
that's true.
But
Yeah,
having said that, the normal classes are basically to ensure that the child does not forget his school days, does not
Hmm.
forget that he has to sleep early, get up early, and have a routine. He's
Correct.
forgotten that routine. Okay,
Yeah.
so
But
what
I think
if
it's up to the parents to put that routine in place. So we've been in this lockdown also, we've been following a routine. And I mean, it took some amount of effort on my part to break the earlier routine and for set this new routine in place. So I think it's up to the parents.
Yeah, and I think we should not really overdo this because even the child is missing its school
Yeah.
environment,
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want to
Correct.
go to school, want to boss around or be bossed around or
And
fight
also
with
meet
their
that
friends.
yes.
Exactly. And just looking at the laptop, which was a novelty in the beginning, is
Yeah.
slowly but surely becoming a bane. They don't want to do that. I mean, I take a few online classes, and the children
Okay.
don't come for that first class.
Oh, okay.
They
Okay.
don't come because they haven't gotten up.
Oh,
and
okay.
and sometimes we see the parents in front of us, the camera is facing them, and they are waking up the child ki ut ut ut, teacher hai
Oh,
wahan pe utho. And then
got
the
it.
parent tells her, teacher bolo usko utne ke liye. Are so this kind
But
of a
what
thing.
time
So
are the classes? Are they like at 9 o'clock or are they at,
nine
I'm sure they are
thirty, nine
9:30. Okay.
thirty. But 9:30 is when the school
9:30 is not
starts.
early. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's not
Absolutely.
early. But what has happened, I'll tell you, is that because of the lockdown and because of the people being in the house, they get their parents, they get everybody together, right? So what
Mm.
happens is the sleep time goes overboard.
Yes.
They
Yes.
sleep at 1 and 2 and all.
Yeah.
And the parents allow that. So
Correct.
what happens is naturally the child needs its good 8 hours of sleep,
Hours. Yeah.
undisturbed
Absolutely.
8 hours of sleep.
I
So
think
to
sleep is very underrated. I think everyone doesn't realize the importance of sleep in the well-being of a child.
individual,
Yeah, individual. Yeah, actually, not just children, but even for
yes,
adults. But
children of
yeah,
course,
yeah,
but
especially,
individual
yeah, need
also.
like long hours of sleep.
Absolutely. No, I mean not too long also, but you do need your regular hours of sleep,
Yes,
you
yes.
know? That is the thing. That's unfortunate. Okay, so now what we have to do is basically, can you then tell us to sum up the entire conversation and the discussion that we've had? What are the different pillars of work life balance and how, if it does, add one's quality of life? How does it bring up the quality of life?
I would say to sum up, I think first of all, be mentally prepared and think to yourself that you can achieve it. Only once you are determined and you feel that you can achieve it, then you can achieve it. Two pillars that I spoke about are prioritization and delegation.
Delegation.
So, I mean, you have to lean in on other people in your family. If you don't have family help, get help from outside to help you with work, and also have your own me time and do whatever you want to do at that particular point in time, whether it is your exercise or reading or whatever. I mean, you as a mother, you need to have some me time to be happy and to take on the world.
Absolutely. That is there. Me time is so very important to be able to take on other things in life.
Yeah.
That is
Yes.
there. Okay,
Yeah.
there is another question which has popped up, and that is, teachers are busy taking online classes, and you have a whole lot of parents giving their feedback. And, generally there's a lot of give and take on the screen.
Hmm.
uh, what would they do if they have to look after their own children and then do their own chores and so you're busy managing students and you're managing household chores.
Yeah.
How does that work out?
I mean, I guess they are, as teachers, they are also working from home and they have to, I mean, find their balance. I mean, I think the lockdown has been that way tough on each and every single person who is working. So I think you have to, I think the key is you do what works for like sometimes if I have to like cook something on a particular day and I have a call, then I make sure that I finish the cooking before my call happens,
Yes, yes,
so
that's a good
you have
thing.
to, yeah.
But what I'm saying is
Yes,
that,
mentally you have to be prepared and that you want to do it and you have to do it. Then you'll find all the resources to, do it.
yeah, like if I'm a teacher, I need to go to school. I go to school, I give all my time to the school, 2:30, bye bye children, see you. I'm home.
Home,
And
yeah.
I can do what I want in my
Yeah.
house.
Yes.
Now that divide is not there.
Yes,
And
that's
distinction
true.
is
So
not
I think it was like I said, it was very tough for me also initial 1 week because I was also used to being at work and doing my work peacefully.
right,
Uh, but if with at home, when the kids know that you are around, it was getting difficult. But I think we've learned to figure out a way and we are managing.
right, right. Anyway, do viewers, I think we got a whole lot more than we expected for the work life balance. If you have any more questions, please feel free to write into geoparsi151 at gmail.com. And Mrs. Lara Bulsara Wajiftar will definitely answer a few of the questions which we redirect to her. Thank you,
Sure.
Lara, for spending this
Okay.
time with
Thank
us.
you. It was
It
great
was
talking to
good.
all of you all.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.